Hey everybody, welcome to the Fuck It episode of Eclectic Soundtrax. We've got Ray Prim here with us today, and we're using Skype, and we're going to do our best, and we're going to hope for our best. And thanks, Ray, for being a trooper and coming on our super professional podcast here.
Skunk is going backwards. The technology is supposed to take us forward, and Skunk is taking 2 steps backwards to Skype.
Man, it's I can't be held responsible. We've been under Donald Trump for 4 years, man. I can't be expected to progress intellectually. Speaking of which, Ray, I know you're a big Donald Trump fan, so I wanted to. You don't even call it. Yeah, number 45, I believe, is your reference.
4 or 5. That's how old he is.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Man, thanks for coming on and talking with us. I've been a fan for a while. I actually know of you, and I don't believe we've met in person. But I first became aware of you through Dave Madden's the 1159 songwriting group.
Oh yeah, I love that group.
Yeah, it's super awesome, man. I'm assuming you just got the email about the next season, so to speak, the next year, right?
Oh yeah. It's crazy. I forgot all about that Dave was going to do this. I was taking a break because I just have 10 songs that we were about to work on another CD. I was like, well, I guess I'll see what happens, and I'll push it back. So I'm not going to start mixing it until after I finish Dave's thing, see what happens.
Okay. But she'll do that within like a week. Like that's the running joke in that group though, is like Ray's already written all the songs. Like the second Dave sends out the email, like you're super prolific, man. You write really fast.
He gives it to us all at once, right?
Yeah.
I knock that out in a month.
No. There's like it's like 2 weeks per song, but you usually like just shit them out, and you're like, and I think he made that joke like last year about like, see everybody in 2021. Ray's already written his songs, or something like that.
I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm just used to being for a year. I think it was for like a year and a half. I was in a songwriting group, and we wrote a song once a week. And so once you get to that, like having 2 weeks to do something, and then I have a job, so usually I do it in like the first 2 or 3 days and see what happens. Because I try to spit stuff out just enough to where it's demo style, and then I'll go back and go through it a little bit more. So
sure. Now, for like the songs within that, I think it's been 2 or 3 years now. I can't even remember. But have you recorded some of the songs, and like have you released some of the songs that you've written for that group? Or are they all sort of in a demo state?
No, yeah. There's a song called "So Gently Down the Stream." I wrote in his group. That's on an album. "Stop Frontin'." I wrote in his group. That's on an album. "When Hope Lets Go." That's on an album. I wrote in that group.
There was one of those tunes that I really, really love, man. I think it might be that one, "When Hope Let's Go." Gently Down the Stream. I was checking out some of your stuff earlier today, and I didn't come across that one, but it's, all your stuff is cool, man. Like I dig all your music. What's that?
Too much to lose. I wrote in that one.
Yeah.
I wrote in Dave's. I think did I write in that Dave's? That might have not happened days, but Gently Down the Stream, when I just go down this, because one of the things was gently down, was right, like boat thing. Right. So I wrote that one. I just go through a stream of consciousness, and I still didn't want to go "Make America Great Again" and all this stuff at the end of it. It's a long, not a rap, but just has a lot of words. It takes a long time for me to remember. It took me for like 2 months to remember. It was horrible. I couldn't remember that shit for nothing. Can I curse?
Oh yeah, man. For sure. Now you have a home studio. You do all your recording in there.
Yeah. Because it got to the point like you said, I write a lot, right? And so, you finish an album and you go to like a real studio and you spend all this time going to a real studio. But by the time you've finished that, you've already written another album. You've already kind of like, I like to spit stuff out. So I was like, I need to start building this at home so I can build on it and go at my own pace and do what I want. So I got Roger Blevins from Mingo Fish Trap, and he talked me through a lot of this stuff. And I got a UAD thing, and I build drums, and sometimes I build the keys. Got y'all can't see my bass and all that stuff, my bass and all that stuff behind me. And now I got my guitar player. He has a home thing. The strings, 2 of the string players, they got a home thing. And my keys, I got to use a guy that's England. I use a lot. And we've been recording at home, sending tracks back and forth since forever. So now we're like a machine with it now.
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, this whole COVID thing has really forced everyone's hand. I mean, it was already something that was happening a lot, but I think everyone's having to do it by necessity now. And there's a lot of things that are so great about it. I agree. I love because there's so much stuff that I have that's just demo, and I've never really taken it, quote unquote, to the studio. And then, like you said, then that process starts to happen. And then by the time it's even ready, you're like, yeah, I've moved on, Yeah. I've really been trying to kind of get more into the home recording world and do that as well. So do you mix your own stuff too? Like all you do is just everything in house, right? A lot of the stuff that you've released, or what is a lot of the stuff that's the release stuff? Do you have guys that you use for that?
No, I do everything. I mix everything. Awesome. It's like, so just kind of, it's like anything else. The more you practice, the better you're going to get. And I've learned that with mixing, it's a matter of time. You know what I mean? It's like, you can go to a badass studio, but if you only got enough money to record and mix something for a day, you're not going to go out with a great product. Mixing takes time. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, so, and I'm slow as hell. So it's like, I'll work on a kick for like 2 or 3 days until I get it right. Like I want to get it. I work on the vocal. I might sit down, work on the vocal for 2 hours. And if it doesn't sound like I want to sound, I just get up and walk away, then come back. There's no label telling me I got to have it out at a certain time. So, and then I use Easy Drummer. I've only used my real drummer. The last 9 albums, I guess, that I've done, I've only used them twice. Like I build the drums, I program the drums. And there's this program called Easy Drummer. So they have great sounds. And I build my kit, and then you can switch the kit out. Once I get into MIDI, I can do whatever I want. Like I'm a MIDI guy. Like, yeah, sure. I can manipulate MIDI, so I can make piano sound like it's like I've been playing for all my life. And that's just my right hand or a little bit of a little snippets of samples. But if you get me into the MIDI world, it's over.
You work in Pro Tools? Yep. I do. And Easy Drummer, they're is it Tune Track? That's the company, I think, and they do Superior Drummer and all that shit. I love that stuff. I've used Superior Drummer a lot, man. I love it.
Superior Drummer is a CPU hog, man. I've been wanting to go over to it. I'm like, God damn, they not only want to live there, they want to like kick everything out the house. That's like 81 gigs or some shit. Damn. It's like ridiculous how much it is.
Is it? I don't know about all that. Maybe the newer one. Yeah.
It's Superior 3 is because I accidentally bought the because they had the expansions. Yeah. I accidentally bought a Superior Drummer expansion. I was like, damn, I can't use this. So it was for a folk thing. I'm doing something for a folk guy, and I was like, oh, this drum sound would be perfect. And I bought it for $20. I should have known. I bought it for $22 thinking I got a deal, and it didn't even work with it, right? So I went to go look it up, and I was like, okay, it's $315. I was like, okay, I can probably handle that. But then I looked at the size of it. It's massive. Like that thing is massive. Like Superior Drummer is massive.
But I wonder if all that is stuff that you have to install, or some of it is just there's a lot of extra bullshit, like some of those have. I remember the original, like I've just done upgrades on it, and I'm still on an old version of 2 or something, I think. But when I first got Superior Drummer, man, there was like a 6-disc set or some shit,
That sounds about right. I mean, now, it's all the sounds and everything, because they don't play around. I mean, you've got so many things you can do. But it's perfect. I mean, you've got so much control over your drums that it's nuts. Mm-hmm. Like it can be a trigger. The thing I like about Easy Drummer is I just built my kit. So I don't like, I know my kit. Like I built it, I tuned it. I've got the kit that I use. And every now and then, if I if a country guy comes and wants to do something, then I'll change some brushes out and switch the kick out a little bit. But I know which kind of like that 60s kind of Ludwig. Is it Ludwig? I always say, no, it's a Gretsch. I use a Gretsch kit. It's a Gretsch kit. And 60s kind of in the middle, kind of mono kind of sound for the drums and let everything go around it. And Blevins taught me that too. He's like taught me everything. Shoot.
Who's that?
Roger Blevins.
From
Mingo Fish Trap. He's also in the group too. Talk about somebody who writes a song fast.
Oh man. Well, I saw, I've heard that name for years, and I saw Mingo Fish Trap recently on public access, and I was like, holy shit, these guys are amazing, and they're so good. And then I just saw Jelly Ellington as having, I think, a live stream or something tonight, and I might be his annual, he does some of those guitar jams and Christmas kind of bash and all that kind of stuff. And I think Mingo Fish Trap might be playing, man, on that.
I think Roger's playing.
Roger, okay. Yeah, I saw something.
It may be Roger because those guys all, like, that band's separated right now too. Some of them in Nashville and so I don't think they would come up for that. The money's not there for that. Because they live in Nashville and all around the country. If it's somebody doing it's Roger.
Okay. Because he's here.
Yeah, he's here. And I guarantee you, because I think that thing is like some of it's live, right? Some of it's at Empire and some of it's online. And I think Roger's probably doing the online one.
Gotcha.
And he's got all that stuff down. There's nothing he doesn't know. So he's probably doing the online version. I got to check that out.
And so he's got what's that?
When is that again? That's tonight?
I think so. I think I just saw a post about it when we were trying to get this set up.
Oh. Yeah, he's probably out there doing that stuff like that.
Yeah, and you said he's got a studio here in Austin then, or what? Roger worked out of his house, man. He's got, just don't tell him what Roger's doing, but he's got all the equipment that you need to make a badass album. Like his last album, he mixed it on time. He mixed and produced that album, and you got to hear that album. It's amazing. It sounds like a top-notch studio. Like that's my gold standard, to try to get to that point. Get to where I'm mixing stuff like that. What are you using right now in terms of, do you have much outboard stuff, or is it all in the box? A lot of plugs in the box?
Mine's all in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any favorites?
I have the hardware. For reverb, I like Capitol Records, the Capitol Records reverb for compression. The LA2, let me see, what's it called? The Teletronics. I got my plugins right here. I like the Neve plugin. I use that a lot. I use, as far as EQ, I actually use the Pro Tools stock one a lot.
Yeah, I use that a lot
E7.
too. Yeah.
That's it. I like, because it's easy. And I have the Fab. I'm terrible with names and stuff like that. I don't even really pay attention to the name of it, but it's the Fab 7, and it kind of it visually shows you where peaks are.
Right.
You can duck it down. So I like that. And then what else do I use? I use like this. I use about I've got 1,000 plugins, but I use like 10 or 12. I like the AKG. Is it the AKG? Let's see here. It's a UAD plugin. I can show you right now. I got them up. Oh, and I like the Galaxy tape delay for echo. Let's see here. I got the reverb right. It's called AKG BX20. That reverb, I like to use that on background vocals. Capitol Chambers is what it's called. That's reverb. It's honey. It's
Sweet.
Honey. On horns, I like to use the Lexicon. Is it the 480L or is it 224? No, it's 480L. I can see all this. That's what I like about UAD. It's like a console. You have UAD? You have an Apollo?
No, man, I want to get one. I ended up getting the Focusrite. What are these things called, Vic? The little
the Scarlett.
the Scarlett.
The 2 I2s. Yeah, the Scarletts.
And I just got one with 2 inputs because I was running off an old 003, man, and finally it just taxed my laptop. It just couldn't handle it. And so I finally upgraded and got a Mac Mini, so I had the power to do what I need to do. but I wasn't really able to get anything super fancy interface wise at the moment. So I just got a Scarlett. But everything I've heard about those Apollos are fucking the shit, man.
Yeah.
Listen, if you get into mixing and you want to be kind of really serious about it, ain't no substitute with that thing. Their plugins, it don't even make sense. It's like that compression. I use this compression, that Teletronics, on everything. It's got two knobs, and that's all I mess with. I don't like a lot. That's another thing. When I see a lot of plugins, I see a lot of shit on it. I ain't time for all that. It's like, give me 2 or 3 knobs, 4 at the most.
Yeah.
If you can't get what you need to get done in 4 knobs, keep moving. I don't like all that shit. And so Teletronics, man, it's just their stuff sounds so different. Like, I could put the same kind of, like, I used to use the RVox. You like Waves products?
The what products? Oh, Waves? Yeah, I've used a little bit. I haven't used a ton of them. I just got a Slate bundle recently, and I like I'm used to some SSL stuff, so I like to use the SSL channel strips, and cool. That's about the extent of what I've done other than just like stock Pro Tools plugs,
But I used to use the RVox for vocals, and I used to swear up and down on it, but I switched to this, and it seems like I don't have to touch anything. Just the second I put it on there, it makes the vocals jump up front. The second I put it on a guitar, it just kind of like, I can't even explain it, man. It's just, you have to hear it. It's like, it's just night and day. It's just, and their plugins aren't cheap.
But is that something that comes? Is that a bundle that comes with the Apollo, or what? Or is it a separate thing? I think you get one. I think it's like you can get 2 things when I get it. Like I haven't bought. I mean, there's like they put like this the Chambers. It's like $300 and some for a plugin. It's that Chambers reverb, and then I think I got the Neve bundle, which was like 2 something. And it came with 3. The Neve I don't really use as much. There's some presets. That's another thing I do when mix. Like, I love it when they show me a lot of badass mixing guys and they have a preset for an instrument, because then I just kind of listen to what their ideal of what it should sound like, right? And then you like to adjust it. But I'm a big starting at a preset of somebody who's been doing it for years and then adjusting it to my mix. I always start with a preset. I always find that's smart, yeah.
What they like. Somebody, they may have strings, and then okay, what do they think it should sound like? But then again, it's also the room might be different when they set that up. But I always start off with a preset to get me started, and then you adjust everything. It's like, and like I said, everything's time, man. Being able to have the patience, and then detail.
Sure. Yep.
Mixing is detail and patience.
Do you ever mix with headphones, or do you just mix out of what do you have speaker wise? What do you like? What are your monitors?
2 Yamaha. I wish I could show you two Yamahas. I have 2 Yamahas. Again, I don't know the numbers and all that stuff. I'm not one of these gearheads. I don't know what the numbers is like.
No, I'm the same way. It's embarrassing.
It's not the smallest one, but it's the one next to it.
Yeah.
And I only use headphones like these headphones right here. They're open back. I only really use them for placement. So I know, okay, so as far as I know as panning goes, and I really pan, I pan far left, far right, and up the middle is what I do a lot. And then every now and then I might put like vocals a little bit, spread them just a little bit, but everything is far right, far left. And I got that from, oh man, I'm losing train of thought. George Reeve. Do you remember George Reeve?
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned I did some mixing sessions with him. He taught me far right, far left, in the middle. And then you EQ it, and then everything widens up the mix. So I keep all the drums. I keep drums in the middle, vocals in the middle, the snare in the middle, hi-hat a little bit. If I'm going to go off, it's not like I don't put stuff in here. If it is, it's like right there.
Interesting.
And then the guitars, it just widens out the mix, Sure, and then the reverb, the reverb will fill that up a little bit.
So with your drums though, you have the toms and you have overheads left and right, or no?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Huh.
Overheads don't, because I have everything going through it. But so I mean, they might. So what happens is even when I have everything going through I have it chained all through the aux bus right at the end. All my drums with the what you call it, and then I put those in the middle like that. So you do keep it in stereo, but it's not pan. So you know what I'm saying. So it's take up the overheads, take up the whole thing, but you're just hearing the ambiance of that overhead. That snare pat when it hits, I got that dead middle. The hi-hat, I don't move that over. I got that mainly dead middle. If I have a tambourine, that's either far right or that's dead middle. Mm-hmm. You know, because the violins and stuff like that. Violins I might put a little bit like that, but even when it goes through the bus, I take that bus when I put the drums to the bus. I put those at 30 and 30, so they're still like that. So it still sounds like it's up in the middle. I don't have toms. Well, that's a lie because I've done it before. Never say never.
So, yeah, never say never.
Just lately, I just haven't. Because I did have it down though.
Yeah, and it's interesting, I guess, because there's, no right and wrong. I mean, you listen to old recordings where the drums are on the left and vocals are on, it's all kinds of different shit, But no, I a lot of times if I'm listening to stuff and just going like, wow, this production sounds so great. I notice a lot of times that I think that one of the key things is just the amount of space that seems to exist where a lot of mixes may seem like, for me, I think it's probably kind of cluttered and messy, right? But to have it where you can really focus on each of those individual sounds and have their individual space carved out, is what you're going for, obviously.
Well, my trick is I've got 8 instruments, right? So I've got 8 instruments that I've got that in my band. I'm trying to fit into a mix. I've got 2 violins, a bass, drums, keys, electric guitar, me and Mexican chocolate. So we got 3-part harmonies. So it's a matter of I tell my players, don't come at me with like we have parts. Don't make them all complicated. Like we don't have enough room for that. There's too many instruments going. I don't need to know that you can hit 40 notes in a scale. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know all that. I just keep everything simple. Then let's put it together like a puzzle where it all fits together. I try to do that. Try to keep it all simple, and then that way it all fits. And then sometimes I scoop it out. Some things make the record. And some things translate on when you're listening to your speakers, they don't translate live. You know what I'm saying? Like there might be a violin line that I can duck down in a mix, but when she plays it live, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's overpowering my melody. So it's give and take on all that stuff. So
sure. So man, how long have you been in Austin? Are you an Austinite? Where are you from originally?
I moved here from Poughkeepsie, New York in 1993. I've been here since 1993.
And what brought you down here?
You want the real story? Or you want the story I used to tell when I was on tour?
Both.
That's the story I told on the radio stations.
Both.
Lately, I've been like, fuck it. Okay, so I hope the ladies don't look at me differently. When I came down here to visit Austin, right? I came down here. It was like I was thinking about moving here, and I was living in Poughkeepsie, New York, and my friend, one of my best friends, moved here to go to UT. We went to I don't think it was a frat party. I don't know what kind of party it was, but we had this. It must have been a frat house or something. So anyway, I was sitting on this swing. I'm swinging back and forth, man, drinking, and then the corner of my eye, see this little yellow bone. You know what a yellow bone is, Scott? No. You know the term yellow bone? That's a light skin, black person.
Gotcha.
You learned something today, Scott.
Yeah, thank you.
So I see the little yellow bone over there, and I'm like, man, she's catching me eye, I'm catching her eye. So, I'm just trying to be smooth with it, skunk. Got my beard, I'm feeling like the most, what's that guy? The most incredible man in the world. Whatever that guy is.
The Dos Equis guy.
Oh, the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling myself, right? So I'm swinging back and forth, and then the swing breaks. And not only does it break, like this house, can you see my hand? This house was on a hill. And so the swing was up here. And then on the other side of the swing, it went down. So when the swing broke, I went falling down this hill.
Oh, damn.
All the way to the bottom, right? So I'm like, God, are you kidding me? So I'm just like dusting myself. She's going to think I'm a nerd or whatever. But she runs down the hill and asks me if I'm all right and are you cool or whatever. It's like, yada, yada. I was like, yeah. So we get to talking. Next thing you know, we hook up. You know what I'm talking about, skunk. When we hook up, we hooked up. And I leave going back to New York, and I'm thinking to myself, I can fall out of a swing and hook up with a hot girl in Austin. I got to get down there. That's how I got here. And it took me like 3 more years to hook up with some another girl. I got tricked. I got bamboozled. But yeah, that's what I thought. That's my train of thought, man. I swear on my mama. I was like, man, if I can fall out of a swing and hook up with a girl, damn, this is where I need to be. Especially a girl, that man, she was fine.
I mean, you're a dude.
Like,
that checks out, man. I think any man would be like, yeah, cool. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, that's not the story you told. That's the true story.
The story I told people was I came out here for music. Oh, I saw how great Austin was, and there was no music, and I didn't play music when I first got down here. I didn't play music for like 3 years. I lived here for 3 years. I didn't know nothing about no music. I came down here and follow the dream of getting laid. That was my main goal. That was it. I was only in my 20s. I mean, what other guy doesn't think like that? So when I was touring, I was like telling radio stations, I can't even remember the story I used to tell. It's the same story. You know, we went to so many radio stations. I used to tour with Seven Stones. It was the same story. Came down here and I wanted to get out. I was going to choose either New York or Austin, and I wanted to go to Austin and give it a chance, and blah 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 blah. That wasn't the story. That wasn't the real thing. Now America knows. Yeah, what I got to lose? We're in a pandemic. What are they gonna do to me now, Skunk? Nothing.
Yeah, they heard it here first. I think it's
I'm
gonna
quarantine.
You're gonna. No, people are gonna respect you. They're gonna be like, man, how admirable of Ray. He came down here in pursuit of love.
Wasn't love.
We'll edit out all that stuff about you talking about getting laid.
Keep it real.
So, now, were you a musician though? Have you always been a musician, or you came here and then all of a sudden started playing guitar to try to get chicks, or what?
No, I was not a musician. I played football. I was a jock. I played football in high school. What got me into music was if I could rap, I would have been a rapper because I love hip hop. Like that's the funny thing about me. I don't even listen to any kind of the music that I play. I used to listen to Bill Withers and all that stuff, but now I listen to mostly hip hop, like rap or K. What is it? KUT? Not Keys. Is it KUT? No, not KUT. What's the one with just the talk? That's KUT, right? Yeah. KUTX is the other one. I used to listen to KUT. I listen to a lot of talk radio, but I don't. No, man. How I became a musician is I couldn't rap. And I was like, I'm not a good rapper. I mean, I suck at rapping. And then I went to a Depeche Mode concert of all the things. I went to the Depeche Mode concert, and I was trying to figure out because I didn't want to play football anymore. I was a free safety, and they wanted to recruit me as a linebacker. And you got to be crazy to play linebacker, man. I'm not crazy. I didn't want to play linebacker. So I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And I was going to school. I went to a Depeche Mode concert just out of the blue, and I didn't really know Depeche Mode. And I had so much fun. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Him being on stage and the way he interacted with people and music. So I had one of them Casio keyboards at my house. So I went back home. I don't know if you're familiar with Depeche Mode, but they're like a lot of doom, 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 doom.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I had that Casio, and my upstairs neighbor, she could play piano. So I had two of them. And I had her downstairs playing with me. I was like, hey, you play this and I'm going to play this. And then I realized real early that if I hear music, I can make a melody. That's just something I never studied. That's just something I could do. Didn't know I could do it, but I just realized it. And she got sick of me. She's like, I'm so sick of this. Like, my boyfriend plays guitar. He's looking for a singer. Would you be interested? I said, okay. And that's how I started Seven Stones. And then my music career started from there.
And what year was that?
When did Violator come out? Because it was the Violator concert I went to. Whatever year, I always try to remember that, but I remember when it first started because it's whenever Violator came out, because that's the concert I went to and got me started. So
it's like mid-90s or something, right?
Yeah, it had to be like 96 or 97. Let me look. We got a computer in my hand.
No, I'm looking right now. It's 1990.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I guess when you came down here, maybe you said you came down here in like 93?
No, so the album probably came in 1990, right? They probably went on tour and they came here right around 92. So I must have moved here in 91. And right around there, right after that Violator concert, Violator tour, that's when it hit me. And then I switched once I got with that guy, it was guitar. And then you ever heard of King's X?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yep.
Man.
So I met Doug Pinnick and I switched over to rock. Tried to do rock. I was like, well, this is a black guy doing rock and roll. Let me see if I could do rock and roll. Because I didn't see any other black people in electronic music. And so I did rock and roll, which was a mistake. I tried to do that for the longest time. And then I saw, what changed my life and got strings and everything with Damien Rice. Went to another, it seemed like when I go to concerts, I went to a Damien Rice concert. It was just him and a cello player. And I was like, wow, that's all I need to do. I just got to get rid of these guys, all this loud electric music, and I just get a cello player. But I couldn't find a cello player, and I ran into a violinist. And the rest is history. Started listening to Bill Withers again. I grew up with him in our household. So.
Well, you've got stylistically you've just got that natural voice, I guess, man. I mean, you're a great singer and you got all that soul and that. So maybe that came from some of the stuff in your upbringing, listening to that kind. I mean, Bill Withers is like the fucking king of writing just a moving, simple song. Like, I mean, it's amazing just how good he was, you know.
And he was a late. What I loved about him, he became my mentor, and I really dug. Well, I also learned how to write songs. When I learned how to play acoustic guitar, I bought a complete Beatles book.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's called the Complete Beatles Book. And at one point, I knew every Beatles song, man. Like I drove my girlfriend crazy. I learned every song in that book.
No wonder you're good, man. Yeah,
100 songs. I learned every song in that book. You know, it's like I would play it over and over and over and over again. And then so once I learned that, I dived back into the Bill Withers story, and I learned that he was a late bloomer. Like right. He didn't start right away. He was a late bloomer. Yeah, and so that gave me confidence to keep going. And so, you know, here we are today.
Yeah, he didn't start up until after he got out of the Navy, if I remember right.
Yeah, in his 30s.
Yeah.
In his 30s. Washington's a late bloomer too. I don't know if y'all know Ray LaMontagne.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
He's a late bloomer. He's a late bloomer too. So this man sold his car to buy a guitar, and lived out of a I forgot what he lived out of, Winnebago or some mess, but sold his car and bought a guitar with it. It's like, that's dedication. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that. Maybe sell a bus pass or some shit.
So what are some other big influences for you when you were younger? I mean, Bill Withers, what's some other stuff you listened to back in the day, so to speak?
The rest is hip hop.
So always, like even back in the 80s and 90s, you were a hip hop kid?
Oh, that's LL Cool J, Run DMC.
Yeah. Well, that's the classic, the golden age, man, of hip hop, right?
Big Daddy Kane, Kumo D. I'm hip, man. I'm rap all the way. 90s. I don't listen to today's stuff that much. I feel like get off my lawn guy, but I am like hip hop, Public Enemy. You name it, man.
Digital Underground, they were one of my favorites, man.
Yes, all of them.
All that
Far Side, Biggie's, you know, you don't love Biggie, we just can't talk. Biggie, Tupac, Dre, all that stuff, man. It's like that's. And when I'm in my car and I'm listening to a CD, if I'm not listening to something I mix, because for me, hip hop, I don't listen to it and wondering how they mixed it, right? When I listen to everything else, like I listen to a Damien Rice, I'm wondering how do you get that snare sound? How did he get that sound? I don't listen to music the same way. How did he get his vocals like that? How did he get like that? Hip hop, I'm just like, okay, I don't do this bond. I don't do this genre at all. I can just enjoy it. And the skill of rapping is just amazing to me. To make something rhyme and stuff and not sound corny is one of the hardest skills that I don't think people can even understand. You know, how many people you know, roses are red, violets are blue, and I love you. Like, it's like, but they don't bounce it off like Biggie, you know, like to make it sound like you're talking to you. That just amazes me.
I agree, man. Have you ever heard MC Fart Squirrel?
Who?
I did a rap. I did an alias rap song at the beginning of the pandemic about all the assholes that weren't wearing masks. And that was my jam, dude. It was awesome. Like, I really enjoyed doing it. I have this old Zoom drum machine, right? And so I just started fucking around with it one day, and it kind of started out as a joke. And then I was like, kind of really got into it, laid down a guitar line, laid down bass, just kind of threw it all together. And it was awesome. And it actually put me down a rabbit hole where then I went and watched, and I talked about this on some of the earlier podcasts we did, but there was this documentary on Netflix called Hip Hop Evolution. Have you heard of that?
Yep. Yeah,
dude, it was awesome, man. I so fucking enjoyed that. And I went back, and of course, same kind of time, I was real influenced by, or, you know, it was the stuff of the day, like in the early 90s for me, like all that late 80s, early 90s stuff from NWA and Eazy-E and Digital Underground and all the stuff that you mentioned, you know, through that stint was kind of the rap that I grew up with, you know. And but I hadn't really like explored much of that genre or paid attention in quite a while. And so it was kind of cool to go back and then look at the origins all the way back into the early 70s, or, you know, even, and the originators, the DJs, and then the early MCs and the Grandmaster Flash, Run DMC, and then all to the new shit that I haven't really been that aware of, but kind of took a little more time to check out after watching that. So, you know, and it's like anything. I mean, there's stuff that I'm just like, oh, this is crap. But then there's stuff that's just like, wow, this is genius, you know? So it's, but that's cool.
Gucci Mane, Lil Jeezy. Lil Jeezy is one of my favorites. Lil Jeezy, Scarface. Man, I could go on. UGK. I mean,
dude, I love UGK, man. Are you a member of the Recording Academy or not?
Nah. I don't know how to do all that. Somebody tried to talk me into doing all that stuff, and I was like,
I finally got talked into it after years, and I did it, and it's cool, man. I mean, there's some cool people in there. You know, for what it's worth, I don't know, the little guys, you know, I don't think really are going to get much light shed on them. But it's anyway. Point being, there was every now and then I'll make a seminar, and they did a bunch of Zoom stuff, and I've seen Bun B talk a few times, man, and Paul Wall, and I love one. Bun B's like, dude, he's like head of the fucking Texas chapter or some shit, man. Like, he's thick up in it, dude. Bun B and Paul Wall, man. Yeah,
I'll join now.
Bun B's the fucking man, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, poor rest in peace, rest his soul, PMC.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man, I love that. When I was touring, we Riding Dirty.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
That freaking cassette. This is cassette. We wore that cassette out. I mean, that's a classic. It is a classic. The Recession by Lil Jeezy is a classic. Life After Death. I mean, this just some, you know. Oh yeah. Highlight. Yeah, you don't know that stuff, man. That's some jams. Ain't nothing like weed and UGK, man. I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. You can't sit on your porch and have that on. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So that's all I listen to, man. It's like it's crazy. That's why I love words in words mean a lot for me in my melody, in my music. Like words mean a lot. Like I rarely do I just throw something out there. That has to say something. I get that from like the rap that I listened to growing up.
Well, like storytelling, right? I mean, you've got something to say. There's a point. It's not just, I mean, which I'm kind of both. Like I love everything from, you know, certain rap artists to obviously the Beatles to Tom Petty, who's a great songwriter, storyteller, you know. And but then other stuff I like, sometimes the words don't mean shit. They're just great melodies and the music's cool. So it's, you know, it's
like Yellow Ledbetter.
That's I don't know, man. That's a whole nother level of nonsense. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were just listening to that the other day. Me and my girl were like, how do you put a song out? Like, that's when you know you're big. Like, I was like, this fool is not talking about anything. Like, he was in the middle of having a stroke and they hit record and he made $1 million off of it. You know what I mean? It's like, sheets of empty canvas on top of sheets of clay. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, he's mumbling the entire time. It's hilarious. It's really
Eddie Vedder was a pioneer. He was before mumble rap. There was Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, they know a band that opened. So before, what got me into listening to rock, even before King's X, is like I said, I played football and my dad worked for IBM, and he moved a lot. So we were in Friendswood and we moved back to New York. And then I was going to play my senior year of high school football, and my dad moves back to Friendswood. And I'm like, man, come on, dog. I was like, I just worked this hard to become, get to where I was in football, and you want to make me leave my senior year? And so the word got back. I told my coach, my dad's going to let me live with our running back. So he sent me back up to live with the running back. And I walked through the gym, and all you hear is, dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. Da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Back in. But I thought he was saying back and I'm black. I was like, that's me, baby. I'm back and I'm black. And so I used to listen to that before every football game. That brings me into rock and roll. Because before that, I never listened to any rock. Like, I was not. Right. And so, but AC/DC, I love that band. That's my type of rock.
Dude, to me, if someone has said you have to define rock and roll in one band, I'd say AC/DC. It's the driving, Marshall fucking stack, just fucking A, G, D chords. It's always catchy. It's always hooky. It's always about, fucking sex and whatever in rock and roll. They are rock and roll, man. Yeah, no, they're the one band that I feel like they can just keep putting out the same song over and over, and I'm okay with it. Like a lot of other artists, you're kind of like, don't do the same song 10 times on a record. AC/DC though, you're like, yeah, dude, cool. This is what I expect. You don't want AC/DC to come out with some fucking 5/4 bullshit and B flat. Like no.
It's the same with my favorite band out of all the bands. Like my favorite band, and I've seen them play 1,000 times, is Rage Against the Machine. That is it for me. Like Rage Against the Machine is the perfect mix of everything, like hip hop, the riffs, the energy, the make you want to like I love Rage. I've seen them. I don't know how many times, man. Last time I saw them I saw them in Vegas. Remember? Did you remember when they played in Vegas? I saw them in Vegas. I saw them at South Park Meadow. I saw them in San Antonio.
Well, this has been years ago, right? Because they just. Yeah, because they just came back and did a reunion. I think it played Coachella or something. But
they were going to play all that stuff, and then COVID hit, so all that got canceled.
Yeah. Their first record is so damn good. That is just a bomb album. Fucking bomb track kicks it off and ends with Freedom. I mean that album is Know Your Enemy. It's so fucking good, man.
Evil Empire is really good too.
Yeah, Evil Empire. Yes, that was
both of those. The Battle of Los Angeles, all that stuff, man. I just love everything about him. Like I love his rap style. I love his voice. I love the guitar. I love Tom Morello's his guitar playing. It's like that. Cause I don't really get into guitar solos. Like I can hear a solo, but
sure,
I don't really get into guitar solos. But his solo was like really. Like remind me of the record scratching,
Right, yeah.
I love Rage Against the Machine, man. Once again, if I can rap, I'd be a rapper. But
what about Audioslave? What'd you think of that band? No,
I wanted Chris Cornell to stay with Soundgarden because I like Soundgarden, but I didn't like that band together. Man,
I love Audioslave.
I was coming from a hater. I'm a hater.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. Dude, I got a friend like that. So I'll throw him under the bus. But Vic, when we had Dave on here, Dave is one of those guys. He just hates Audioslave for no reason. He's what you said, Ray. He's like, I love Rage Against the Machine. I love Chris Cornell. I'm like, but they fucking kicked ass, dude. Audioslave's first record, like all those songs are so good. So good.
I won't even listen to it.
Oh, Ray.
I don't even know if I heard it. That sucks. I don't like it.
The first.
I'm gonna Clockwork Orange you, man. I gotta fucking pry your fucking ears open and blast that record in.
No, I won't like it. If it ain't Zach, I don't want to see it. I don't want to. Don't. You know, it's crazy. You're right. I love Soundgarden. Like they are that Black Hole Sun. What's that album? Black Hole Sun.
Super Unknown.
That is one of the Super Unknown, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the baddest rock records as far as like interesting time signatures. Like you said, time signatures.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, just everything is brilliant, right?
It is.
I can listen to it. I love that album.
That's a great album.
And I love Rage Against the Machine. But the second they told me Chris Cornell was going to take Zach's spot in my band, that's my band, by the way. My band, I was like, nope. I'll not listen to it. I don't care. I don't even think I've heard an Audioslave album. I won't do it.
Oh, you sound like my dad right now. My dad who prided himself on never watching an episode of Cheers. What does that accomplish? Like,
wait, why do you got against Cheers? Let's dive into this. What the hell?
I'm just saying, you can't just like say I'm not gonna listen to that just because it's really popular. And I'm just saying, like, it might be good. You got to give it a chance.
You can't just like gloss over that. Why didn't your dad like Cheers? Like, what's not to like about Cheers?
Because he's trying to the same thing with Audioslave. He wants to prove like he's nope. I'm not. I don't know why. Like maybe.
You sure it wasn't Frasier? Like the spinoff of Cheers.
You talking about the spinoff?
I don't know. Cheers.
Oh, it's
maybe
Cheers.
It was a bad example. I should just said Frasier. It would have put my point better.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's Frasier. Yeah, that's it.
What did Cheers do? Like, what did Cheers do to him? Frasier, I can understand.
I don't know what.
Because you know what? I would have joined him. I ain't like Frasier.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Cheers. Like I never remembered it. Even I was too afraid to talk to girls to ever put it. But Sam Malone was the king of fucking. He was the pimp, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh Sam.
Sam.
Yeah. That's back when Chrissy Alley had a mind right.
Yeah.
She wasn't crazy, and she was fine back then too.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, Chrissy Alley. Now she's lost her damn mind. She's crazy.
Man, she's well, I don't know what your religion is, right? So
she's a Scientologist.
Oh, saying you. That's why I didn't want to say anything. You're not.
I'm not a Scientologist. I just watched that.
Yeah, that's why she's fucking crazy as shit, man.
Yeah. No. She's. I just watched that. What's her name? Who's trying to take down all those? I just watched all that on Netflix.
She won an Emmy for that show too.
It's a good show, man.
She's really the one. What's her name? Leah Remini. Is that right?
Yeah.
Off King of Queens.
King of Queens. Right? Yeah.
Man, I had no idea about these guys. You know what? Actually, hang on a second. Break this back. I ain't saying nothing about them. Never mind. Hey, Scientology, y'all are great. I don't want them coming after me. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Next question.
Eyes wide shut. Yeah.
Yes. Those man. No, I'm not saying anything else about Scientology.
Well, let's go back to Audioslave.
I'm going to something else.
You know what? You know who was a victim of Scientology was poor old Isaac Hayes, man.
I don't know about that.
Oh man, because he was the chef on South Park, and then they did an episode where they made fun of Scientology, and he fucking quit. Right?
Oh, that's right.
I like to plead the fifth. I don't know anything about that.
And they fucking roasted his ass.
Once again, I don't know anything about Scientology. I like to put that on the record. Ray Prim says, I don't know anything about that. Scientology, I don't know anything about it.
This is not the Ray Prim I know. The Ray Prim I know is very opinionated, and he lets you know what his opinions are.
I saw her show.
This is a new Ray Prim.
Scientology, they own a city. They took over a city, dog. When you can take over an entire city and have the cops on your side, it's like, nah, man, I can't mess with Scientology. I'll mess with Trump before I mess with them fools. I didn't mean to call y'all fools. I apologize. Before I mess with those fine ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I assume the city you're speaking of is Los Angeles.
No, they took over a city in Florida.
Oh, like they actually have like a commune, like a literal Scientology city.
You haven't watched the episodes, have you?
Not
so.
Well,
You don't have the fear right now. If you follow this thing, these people do not play around. They will be sitting outside your house trying to shut you down. I
have seen that. I have, and they had like people fucking locked up in those big buildings and shit. There was one of those where we used to be in LA on Hollywood Boulevard. They probably got people locked up in there.
You know what's crazy? Her last episode, she did one on Jehovah's Witnesses. Now I was raised in that. And they're a little different too. Like they don't believe in locking people all this stuff up, but they have some strict stuff and have some similar things happening with that. I used to have to go knock on doors and all this stuff. Matter of fact, the whole reason why I played football was to get out of knocking on doors. My dad said, if you play sports, you don't have to do that. Sign me up. You know what I'm saying? Bo knows. I was like, sign me up. They go to church on Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, knocking on doors on Saturdays. Man.
Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, I think he grew up. Right? Okay, yeah.
Prince was a Jehovah's Witness towards the end. Did you know that?
Who's that?
Michael Jackson was a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
Yeah, Michael Jackson was a Jehovah's Witness. His mom, put like this, his mom was. He wasn't practicing. But his mom was Jehovah's Witness. They grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Well, we saw how that worked out, man. Fucking Joe Jackson.
Knocking on your door. I was trying to tell you about the kingdom. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
That would be a good Jehovah's Witness right there. I'd be like, God damn. If I could just start singing a song and be like, all right, just whatever it is you're doing. That's a badass song. I'm in.
That's why Prince stopped singing a lot of his songs. And he kind of, if you notice towards the end, he lost some of that edge. Prince didn't grow up a Jehovah's Witness, but if you can kind of see in his music when he became one, because he went from saying, I want to fuck you, stuff like that and stuff, all that stuff too, it's more spiritual and God and all this stuff. So
I didn't realize Prince went down that road. I know some of his former bandmates had gone down the road to God, path of God.
Prince became a Jehovah's Witness.
I really hate the fact that I never saw Prince, and I guess around when he died, he was doing a touring when it was just him and a piano. Fuck, man, that would have been so amazing. Did you ever see Prince?
I saw him, but I didn't see him to where I could appreciate it. A babysitter, somebody was babysitting me when we lived in Huntsville, Alabama, and the teenager took me to a Prince concert. He got in trouble. It was the what's the album? Controversy album. So I saw that come, but I was like 8. Nah, I don't remember it. I couldn't appreciate it, but I went to Prince for that. As far as everything else, I wish I could have seen him, but it's one of those things. I wish I could have gone to what would have been cool to see him at his house in that Paisley park thing he plays. That would have been so cool to see him like that. But I haven't. My things I've seen was, like I said, I've seen Depeche Mode, Rage, I don't know how many times. It was a real interesting band that I never thought I would get into, but they're really cool. It's Tool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool band. That guy, that singer's office rocker.
Oh, Maynard.
But
yeah,
that's a weird cat, man. like he wasn't even facing us. Like half the set. Like he was up on the top of the thing singing the other way around, wasn't even looking at us. And then when he did look at it, he acted like he was like dying and stuff. I was like, what is wrong with this guy? But the music was like listening to it sounded like somebody turned the radio on and just turned it up. Sonically, it sounded so good. Same with when I saw Sir Paul playing at the Irwin Center, Paul McCartney. You've seen concerts in the Irwin Center, right? Now it always sounds boomy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to sound horrible. It sounded amazing. I could hear everything he was doing, every instrument. It was amazing, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw Roger Waters do the wall there. That was fucking mind blowing, man. That was
pretty. That's from Pink Floyd. That's
Pink
Floyd.
Yeah, it was really, and they got the visuals, and I mean, it's just one of the most spectacular things you'll see because there's this, everything is visually happening through the whole show, and the walls coming down, and then they build it back up, and it's incredible. The music, the graphics, the lights, the whole thing. What was I just thinking? You were just talking about Tool. Yeah, Tool, man. I had never seen Tool, and I remember when they came out, and they had this weird claymation video, and it was totally different than anything else you would see on like MTV. And I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And they kind of started blowing up. Sober, yeah, way back. And then I remember seeing their artwork and stuff on the Undertow album, being like, wow, this is really fucking weird. but it's cool. But I never see them live, and I always heard they were great live. And speaking of getting stoned, it was one of the shows where they did 2 sets, right? And it kind of upped the ante the second set in the visuals. I think Adam Jones, their guitar player, if I'm not mistaken, creates a lot of that, if not all that visual shit. So it's very in-house band, to my understanding, that does all that visual stuff that they do as well as the music. But man, especially after like smoking, I was just like watching that show like, fucking holy shit. It was pretty badass, man.
You want to hear a cool story? And this is the kind of famous I would love to be. They were playing, Tool was playing, I think it was at somewhere in town. Remember the Ritz?
Oh, yeah.
On 6th Street?
Yep.
Remember you play pool on it? Okay, so I used to live right across the street from the Ritz. Like I used to live in these lofts above Steamboat. Okay? The investment Steamboat. So I lived, it's like real. So we're over at the Ritz. We were playing pool with these 3 guys. Playing pool and stuff like that. All this stuff, and it's like, we just, because we're musicians, like, we just finished playing a gig, and we're just over here relaxing and chilling out. Like, oh, you did? We're drinking and stuff like that. Oh, so where'd you play at? And it must have been the Irwin Center, because it was something big. We're like, oh, you didn't play no freaking Irwin Center. Tool just played there. We are in Tool. Didn't recognize them.
That's awesome.
At all.
Well, yeah.
They were such down earth guys. I was like, but I can't point them out of can you point them out of a lineup right now? I can't. And I drank and hung out with them at a pool table.
Right.
Had no idea, man.
It's like you said, like their stage presence. He does the same thing with A Perfect Circle, because I saw him, was it 5 years now? Maybe 4? Like up in Cedar Park, right at the HEB Center.
Oh, when A Perfect Circle played.
Yeah.
And Maynard wasn't there. It was a guitar player, the drummer, and the bass player.
Adam Jones, Dana Carey, and Justin Chancellor, right? Yeah, Well, like you were saying, I think Vic was like, and you were saying, Ray, it's like they're not really it's not a showman band, right? They're sort of there playing the music, and you're watching the visuals, and just it. Yeah. So they're kind of unassuming, it's.
That's like the kind of thing, man. That's the kind of thing I would love. Like you could just be able to walk down the street. I mean, they can do whatever they want. Like you would have not known. Like I did not. They didn't act like it. They didn't do anything like it. Even the way he said. I just remember even the way he said. Where'd you play? Oh, we played over Irwin Center. I mean, I don't know if it was Irwin Center, but like we already knew. And I already knew. I was like, man, you didn't open up. Come on, dog. Tool just played over there. We are in Tool. I was like, oh, shit.
That's fucking awesome.
Eat crow with my beer. I was like, oh, Lord, have mercy. But, we were drunk enough that we didn't start going, oh, my God. So I was like, all right, man, it's your shot. We're playing pool. So it was pretty cool. I miss that place. That was such a good. I miss that time, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Austin, where we could actually, you can make money off of playing live and make a living off of it. Not make a living off of playing in town. So we got being on the road. Well,
at least you lived through that time. I never saw that time. I think I caught the tail of it. I had a couple of fun moments in the mid 2000s, and I've seen it just dwindle. Obviously, now we're in a pandemic, and that it is.
You didn't live here?
I moved here in 2004. I started playing out around in 2005, 2006. Kind of heavy, but yeah, I wasn't here in the 90s.
Okay, yeah. And so I was in a band, Seven Stones, and my whole thing, how I said I'm not, and I still haven't got my name on the scene, and I don't know what I was thinking. But my thing was like, what I'm going to do to get my name out there is I'm just going, because I can harmonize real quick, like that, right? I'm just going to jump on stage with people and start harmonizing with them. That's how I met Bob Schneider. I don't know why he didn't kick me off stage, but I got invited when he was with the Scabs. I jumped up there one day, started singing. There's that song, Pussy Fever. Remember that song?
Oh, yeah, man.
Fever. So I jumped up there one day and started harmonizing with him. He see me in the audience. We're going to bring Ray Prim up here. Got that. I did that. That's how I met Ian Moore. I did that to Ian Moore. I did that. Remember the band Sunflower? Well, you weren't here when Sunflower.
No, I remember Sunflower, dude.
Remember Sunflower?
I fucking remember those guys. Yeah.
That's how I met those guys. As a matter of fact, Tate plays with me now.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, he plays in my band now. And who else did I do that? Breed Love. I did that to so many people, and I think to myself now, man, if somebody jumped on the stage and me started doing it, I'd be pissed. Like, how did I get away with that? Like, why did I get my ass whooped back there? It's like, I'd be so mad, but I did that I still remember the day I did it to Ian Moore. It was at Steamboat. I just jumped up there, and he kind of looked at me crazy. But like I said, I can harmonize quick, man. It's like quick thinking. I started harmonizing with him, and he's like, okay, leave him up here. Because I think one of his guys was about to like snatch me down, and I stayed up there, and I met him, man. We've been cool ever since, but I used to do this crazy. Oh man, some good times.
No, it sounds great. I remember those guys. I remember Sunflower, Ian Moore, Chris Duarte back then. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all those bands you were mentioning, man, because I was born in San Antonio, but I was in College Station for a while when I was growing up, and those are the bands that would come to town. It was like, oh, Austin band, oh, Ian Moore, oh, something. It was always kind of a big deal because we didn't have shit really there, So that's kind of where. And I've still got like Ian Moore's first couple records. I think he moved to Seattle. I don't know if he's back here now or what. I just remember he moved. He's in Seattle still. Seattle. Yeah. Yeah. I saw him at the Rock Rally this year. No shit.
The little island that's out there. Is it the Vancouver Island or some island?
Bainbridge Island. There's Bainbridge.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, there's Bainbridge. There's Whidbey Island. There's it's all right there in that channel, just right between Seattle and then on the other side where you have all the port towns, the logging towns.
Yeah, he lives on an island out there, on one of those islands out there.
Kicking it with Bill
Gates.
He was
just in town.
Well, I saw him play. He was, he played the Rot Rally. I don't know if he's probably been back since then too, but that was, Jesus Christ. Look at me. That was like last fucking year already. I don't even know what's going on, man. There's no time.
Rot Rally.
What's no time. Like a biker rally that happens every year.
Those motorcycles. Is that what they call it?
Yeah. Republic of
Texas. Yeah. And it's like a huge fucking event that they have somewhere up north. And, they always have multiple stages there. But, that's the last time I saw them. But yeah, man. Wow. I hadn't heard the name Sunflower in a long time. That's cool.
Yeah. Tate, who plays with now, played in Sunflower. We all got our start at remember the Black Cat?
That might have been before my time, maybe.
I remember
I remember there used to be a place called Bates Motel. It was Bates Motel and like 311, which is still there, I think. I'm trying to think.
It was a blues club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like a hard rock place in Dallas. I think. I can't remember. I used to hate going up and playing in Dallas. Deep Ellum. Oh.
Dude, Dallas sucks, man. Like I've never gotten made shit when I play Dallas. I find it's hard to make money up there.
It is, man. But we lucked out and got some shows. Playing with some good people. But it's just I don't know. I don't.
The drive or what? Yeah, it's a different.
No, vibe. It's just a different vibe from just the sound guys. I just remember. You got sound guys that will talk to you and all that stuff, and then you got sound guys who just like don't even want to be there. Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like maybe it could be your hometown thing. Another funny story. Speaking of like how people treat you, when we were in New York and when I was in San Francisco, we used to tour a lot, right? And we had a 15-seater band and stuff like that, and we had a 15-seater band and a trailer. So we're in New York. pull up there, and we met some girl in Virginia. I don't know how he took this girl from Virginia but she rode from Virginia back to Manhattan with us. She said we could stay with her in Queens. And so, okay, so have you been in New York before?
Yeah.
So you know, in certain like you can't stay parked on the side of a street. You know, once you get
right.
you have to change everyone. So and once you get into the weekend, it kind of like. So we got this nice spot in the morning, and it was one of those days. We're gonna skip the next day to trying to find a place to park with a 15-seater van and a trailer is hard. So we got a nice spot. So we had to play a show that night, and we're like, man, I don't want to move this van. And this is before we knew anything about backlining. I didn't know anything about backlining. So that girl, she had a pickup truck. Now remember, we came here in a van, but we put all our stuff in the back of a pickup Ford-looking pickup truck. Put up to this club, and they already know we're a band from Austin. So these fools think we drove from Austin in a pickup truck with our gear in the back of it, right?
Of course they do, yeah.
So it was the Brown, I think the name of the Brown Club. So we get in there, and you ever seen that movie Once? You ever seen that movie Once?
I don't think so.
So we get in there, and the sound guy, he's not paying attention to us. Like he's just like setting them knobs. The crowd, because we're just these hillbillies. Like first when we show up with our gear, they're like looking down on us like these fools showed up with a gear in a truck, you know? So they're looking down on us, right? The crowd has their back turned to us. And I was just like, you know what, man? We can either get mad or we can take this place over. So we all decided, man, you know what? We're going to start off with our heaviest thing. And we just kicked ass. By the end of that show, we had the crowd jumping. The sound guy turned around. It was one of the best moments of my life. Sound guys, and they asked us to, hey, can y'all play again? Can y'all do this? But it's one of those things, but they really thought we drove from Austin, Texas in this poor pickup truck. And with us sitting in the back of it, like, because we all couldn't do the gas. And we built these country bumpkins from Austin. And they're like, y'all rock. I was like, man, that was great. That was so fun.
And how many
That's
people?
A good time.
How many people were in Seven Stone?
4. There's 4 of us. But we had, because this is one of those trucks where the seat's right there and the back of the truck's right there. There's no backs. There's no 2 seats. So one of us, the girl's driving, or someone's driving, another person in the middle, another person right there. Then our road manager, me, and our bass player was sitting in the back with the equipment. Just like this, sitting all like this, riding up to the club, pulling up in a Ford pickup truck with gear that we didn't even need because they have the backline.
That's the thing about New York. Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, they don't want you bringing in fucking gear. There's no place
we didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that was like strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and then it wasn't until we started playing. Then the sound guy, like, it's just so weird. Everybody has their back to the, oh, wait. Hello, hang on for a second. And then next thing you know, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That was fun, man. I'll always cherish that memory.
No, I think it's always like, I mean, it's cool to play any show and people respond and you have your friends and people, colleagues, people you know, but when you're able to do it for a crowd of strangers and turn them and make real truth, like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Because anyone can kind of go play for, your buddies that you play for on the weekends kind of thing. That's going on tour and playing for strangers and really captivating an audience. That's when you really know, like, you've had that, you're doing something right,
That's when I know I could do it, when I started noticing the crowd that I didn't know anybody. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you got to get past that point where all your friends go, because your friends aren't going to last. They're not. They're just not going to last. They don't see you the same way someone else is going to see you. Like, you can sing the most profound song in the world, but you're still going to be Ray. You know what I'm saying? Or you're still going to be Skunk. They don't know you. They're going to know you like that. So you got to get past that. You got to get to people who are actually going to look. When we started playing Steamboat, I looked out and I was like, I don't know any of these people. That's where I know, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
But at first it was like, oh, this Johnny, this what's called this push. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's drink. But after that, when it started getting packed and we started having some sellout shows, I was like, I don't know any of these people. That's what you need. Those are fans. That's what you need.
Right.
So I try to tell people who's just starting out, it's like, don't rely on your friends. That's not going to last.
Yeah, that's always fleeting. And if you're young in your high school or college band, you know, you're going to have a natural draw from that. You're going to have people want to go out, you know, well, pre-pandemic, they want to go out, they want to party, they want to. Once you get past that phase, though, it's like, yeah, everyone's like, nah, I've got kids now, fuck off.
Oh yeah. It's hard, man. It's. I don't know what this pandemic is going to do to us. It's like coming back and like, we're just going to disappear. I mean, because I don't have the youngest crowd in the world. It's like when we play at Continental Club, it's a mixture, but mostly my crowd is like 35 and up. Are they going to want to even come out? You know, it's like, am I going to want to come out? It's like,
that's such a shame. Seeing all these bars closed too, man. You know, I mean, it's awful to just see some of these places going under. I've heard 1-to-1 got bought out and they're going to keep the building and Greg's still going to be involved. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, Greg's going to do some of the booking and help the guy get up and running.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I just told, I hope the guy's a millionaire. I mean, because I don't know what. Yeah. I don't see this turning, especially any place that's indoors right now. Like the one place that's outdoors is what do you call it? The Far Out Bar, the Far Out Lounge. And I tried to book a show over there, and the guy was like saying, "Well, let's." I think it was last month. He's like, well, "We're in February right now." It's like February. Golly, that far out already? So, you know.
Don't you have something coming up this month, or is it a live stream? I thought you had a show coming up.
It's a live stream. It's a live. That's another thing. I do not like live streams. I do not. I like it if I'm playing with somebody interactive, but that's why I haven't done. People are like, well, why have you done things with your just quartet or done shows or put together stuff like that? I do not like them. And also, it's like, it's kind of like, I was saying it today, I was doing a check for my show today, and it's like, it's like watching, it's like having a full, like when you see these numbers in the corner, right? And you have 30 people, right? And then that number starts dwindling. You know, it's like, it's space with your psyche. It's 30. Oh, now it's 15. Now it's 7. That's like watching a packed house and they just start getting up and walking out in the middle of your song. It just hurts your feelings. You know what? Let's keep it real, Scott.
No, it's true. Like, how many people are going to sit there and I hate to say it, but it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, like Metallica did a live stream. I don't care. I mean, you know, I think like people are like into what they're into, and there's a certain age maybe where you're just like all in. But these were also very different times when it was like what we used to do was go out to a show. That was exciting. It was fun. Like I said, Sunflower, some band. It was like, that's what you did. Nowadays, it's like, well, but I could just watch it here and I'll watch it later. There's no like urgency to any of it, right? So I feel like with those live streams, you're right. It's like so many things. It's psychologically weird because you can't take it personally, but it's hard not to, right?
It's hard not to when you like. It's hard not to when you start like we had I did one thing. It's like 70 people, and I'm sitting here trying to play, but I'm watching the number dwindle down. It's like, I suck that bad, and then you can't even get into it because you. And then it goes back up. Okay. Oh, I must hit that note right. Okay. I'm sitting here watching these numbers. 70. Oh, it's 9 to 50. Oh, and now it's back up to 60. Okay. I did this right. I don't like it. I cannot stand it, man. I hate playing online. It's just, but I dig it if it's interactive, like stuff like this. Like if I can talk with somebody, Zoom, like I do this Black Fred thing. It's 3 songs. And I do it with other songwriters, and it's for a corporate thing. And then they get to listen, and I can interact with the singers, and we talk. That's cool. But me just sitting here, okay, I'm going to play a song. I play it. I'm looking at the numbers, and it's like, it's too much, man. My fragile ego can't take it. I'd rather just make records in my room and just put the lights out.
Yeah. Well, Vic and I were talking about doing that which I can't. I don't know what my problem is. Like with certain things, I cannot remember the names of them. So I'm just going to call this thing the duck stream for the end until the end.
There you go.
What is that thing called?
StreamYard. Yeah.
StreamYard. Yeah, that thing. Like doing a live live stream thing where we did like I forget what the fuck our idea we even said now was not Q&A, but we're talking about like favorite records or something cool, something interactive though, like you were saying. Like I think that's the name of the game right now, you know. Like
talk about like, hey, it's 1992. What were you listening, right? And then maybe do some Q&A, or maybe bring a guest on, and then have like a Q&A type thing going on, right? You know, like
1992. What am I listening to?
Angel Dust.
No, that's definitely hip hop. I'm trying to think what rap band. 1992.
The Pearl Jam's 10 pops into mind because I graduated boot camp in 92, and that was like the album. I think it came out earlier, but I just remember that album distinctly.
Yeah, if we're talking hip hop, that was that pre-Chronic, or was that when did the Chronic?
That's what I'm saying. When did the Chronic come out?
And I think it was right
90, 91. I think that's right when West 90. Coast, right when West Coast started really hitting. Because 89 was tipping them. 89 and 80, 88, 89, 90. That was Tribe Called Quest era, wasn't it? The Tribe was really hitting.
Yep. The Chronic was 92. December, late 92, December, yeah.
Yeah. So that's when they took over. Like before it was like Tribe and Farside and all that kind of. Then West Coast came over and just kicked the door in. You know, it's like, oh my God. Next thing you know, you got Nate Dogg and my boy Too Short. What you know about Too Short from the band?
Too Short pumped up again. Dude, this is like
the third or fourth reference time.
Surprised how many fucking times Too Short has come up on this podcast. True story, Ray. Yeah. So, well, Vic had a buddy on here who's, I don't know, Vic, you'll have to tell him about Jerry, but he was, Too Short came up.
Tylenol Jones, man, from Idiocracy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he was saying Too Short was his favorite rapper. And when I met one of my best friends, who was one of our first guests on this, he was the first guy I ever like kind of played music with. Like, I got a $90 guitar and amp combo, right? And he had set up cardboard boxes with a little broom for a hi-hat. And that was our first jam, man. Like, so I've known this guy all the way back to like 1991 or some shit, 1990 even. And he said the day we met, we were the most two different dudes. He was like, he had like a Motley Crue shirt on or some shit. And what did he say those pants were called? The jorts and some wrestling shoes. And he had a mullet. Right. He just looked fucking ridiculous. And I'm sitting there like, who is this motherfucker? Meanwhile, I got my buzz cut, my Air Jordan sweatpants, and Too Short written real big on my book cover. And he gives me shit about it. We were just like, who the fuck is this guy? We ended up becoming great friends. But, oh, dude. I had all those old Too Short cassettes, man.
Oh, man. Too Short is the man. Too Short is the man, dog. That's from the debate, you know, and then cause like that song, they had the song, Tap, Tap, Tap In. I don't even know how that song goes. But the first time I heard it, I was like, she took that from Too Short. It's got the whistles and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah. And then what else? You know what else I like? Used to like a lot from that area was skipping my mind. He's underground too.
MC Hammer.
No. I didn't mind MC, but not MC Hammer. Oh God, I can't think.
You talk about the Bay Area?
Yes. Oh my God!
Too Short, Digital Underground. That's all that's coming to my mind. Tupac.
No. You know the Bell Sounds?
The
Bell Sounds?
Mm-mm.
Their lead singer knew Tupac. She hung out with Tupac.
No shit.
I was like, you should have started your conversation like that.
Damn.
They're underground too. It's gonna come back to me. It's gonna pop into my head just like that. And I'm like. Because I used to be a big fan of mixtapes too. All that stuff, you know?
I'm
telling you, I used to be so into him. I still am. You see my car and I'm like, I still like on my Instagram, I'll do little things where I call Ride With Me and I'll play different hip hop on the station 90, is called 98.3 or something. Have a Throw Me Back station. I just can't get into the new stuff. That's the only problem.
What's the latest thing you think you got into rapper wise?
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even like, listen, let's keep it real. This is a real show, right? I don't like Drake. Don't like him.
Why not?
Everybody like Kiki. You love me.
It's because he's Canadian. No. Canadian don't know anything about rap.
I don't know what it is, man. Maybe I'm a hater. I don't like Drake. I don't.
Oh, Drake. Oh, okay.
Drake. And who do you think I said?
I thought you said Dre. I was like, what?
No, hell no.
I was like, all right, that's weird.
Is you crazy?
I thought it was maybe it was one of those Audioslave. He was like, no, I like NWA, but as soon as he went solo, I can't listen to it. This is Ray back in 1992. No, I refuse to listen to the Chronic.
You should have ended the conversation if you really thought I said Dre. You should be like, okay, the show's over.
That's Drake, what I was concerned there for a minute.
No. He's the greatest rapper.
I don't get the whole Drake thing. He was on SNL. He was funny and all, but he's had like God's Plan was one of the like big #1 songs, and I was like, man, this song fucking sucks. Like I didn't get it, dude.
I don't like him. I do not like Drake. I don't like. You know what?
Hey, wait a minute. What if he's a Scientologist? Be careful.
Yeah, you know what? Let me take that back. I don't like Young Thug. I don't like Young Thug. I don't like Drake. I don't like
What about Lil Wayne?
Oh, I love Lil Wayne, but his wordplay, like that's what I'm saying. Like, is like one of the top 5 rappers of all time.
I got respect for him after watching that documentary because before that, I'll be honest, I was total book by its cover.
What documentary?
The Hip Hop Evolution.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
And so then I went back and I kind of like kind of gave some guys a chance, and I kind of like I was like, oh, I see because before that I was just like, man, it's just like this tattooed motherfucker doing mumble shit. Like, what the fuck is and then I was like, oh, I see, it's all freeform. That dude put out like 70 fucking songs in a year or something insane. Like,
yeah. You need to listen to his mixtapes before he hit that lean.
That's what it was. Is the old mixtapes, right? That they were
doing. Yeah. The lean kind of got him where you kind of I'm with the baby. He's kind of like he kind of mumbles, but
my introduction was Lollipop.
Still, huh?
Yeah, my introduction was Lollipop from a bunch of kids that I used to teach that wanted to learn a Lil Wayne song, and I was like, oh, this sucks. They were always either like at the time, whenever the hell this was, that song must have been a big hit because they were every time I'd go in, they'd be like they either wanted to learn Michael Jackson or Lil Wayne, and I was like, all right, we'll do some Michael Jackson.
You taught him Lollipop?
Yeah, these fucking kids, man. They were like, oh, I learned Lollipop by Lil Wayne.
Oh, shit. I don't know about that. There's got to be some boundaries. Do the parents know you teach them Lil Wayne?
Well, no.
Lil Wayne got some underneath stuff.
This was a program called Grounded in Music. It's actually how I met Dave Madden through this. He did it for a stint, too. And I met Michael Longoria. You know him?
Yes.
Drummer? Yeah. Great guys, man. Yeah. And so we all used to do that years back. And you would just go into like a boys and girls club and they had donated instruments and this and that. But the kids, they didn't have a lot. They were pretty young. They didn't really know much about music. That's kind of what they knew. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right. Yeah. But I was just like, oh, man, this is terrible. Like, this is I was like, no, fuck this, man. We're going to learn some Michael Jackson, dude.
And then you turn out he ain't that safe either. No, I'm just playing, Mike. I'm just playing. That's a joke. These are jokes. I have much respect for Michael. Much respect. I mean, I love Neverland. That movie was hard to watch. That documentary.
Oh, I haven't seen that, man. I didn't see that. Yeah.
Man,
I did see that movie they made though before he right before he passed away, and they were going to do all those shows in London, right? Remember there was a movie that came out in theaters a few years back. I mean, shit, it's been 10 years now, 11 years, but
was that the one with all the behind the scenes and like
all
showing
the behind
them
the scenes stuff with the dancer band and Michael? Yeah, it was really cool.
Working his ass off. Holy shit!
That dude was. Can you separate the man from the music? Like, can you separate R. Kelly from the man? I don't know if you listen to R. Kelly.
I don't know, man. Like, I will say, like, Michael Jackson, whether he did those things or not, hopefully he didn't. I mean, the guy had some problems. He had some problems because of his childhood. Clearly, he didn't have a childhood. And I think it's still weird, but logical to understand why he kind of wanted to be hanging around kids and having a child because he never got to have a childhood, right? So that part makes sense. Now, if he was doing things with those children, that's obviously a whole other can of worms. But either way, it's a little weird and strange, but you kind of understand like why he was messed up. And obviously he was like mega pop star famous, king of pop, went crazy. So we all know that. But he's got this catalog. He did Thriller. He did all this great shit. R. Kelly, R. Kelly's not fucking Michael Jackson. So when R. Kelly runs around and starts pissing on people, it's kind of like, I'm like, motherfucker.
But R. Kelly in the black community, the music he puts out, and I'm not an R. Kelly guy. I don't even like R. Kelly. Like to me, he's Drake. I don't know his catalog. I wish I could fly.
I just know he has a song in a fucking Space Jam, and then he goes and Bugs Bunny movie, and then he goes and pees on people, and that's just funny to me. I mean, it's terrible.
That's what I'm saying. So let's say I always wondered cause for me, I don't like R. Kelly, so I have no problem just shunning him completely. I love me some Michael Jackson. So if these things are real, it's like I was thinking to myself, after I saw Neverland, right? And I was like, he's got to be. There's too much smoke, right? But then Billie Jean came on after that. A little bit after that, I'm still.
Oh yeah.
Don't raise your head still. Turn it off.
Dave Chappelle talked about that in one of his stand-ups where he was just like, someone was talking about Michael Jackson. He was like, but he did Thriller, man. It's just like, it's hard. Like shit is so hard. Yeah, it's so time.
You know what I mean? It's like, can you separate yourself from the? And I would like to think I can, but man, and I don't know, man. You go see that movie Neverland.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that. I forgot that was a thing.
It's put him in a bad light, man, and it's kind of like why would so many people be lying? It's like
definitely marred.
You know what I mean?
Definitely marred reputation that guys like Prince and a lot of others don't have. Yeah, true. But shit, man. I mean, some of the Michael Jackson production, I almost brought this up earlier when we were talking about studio stuff and mixing. And I there's a lot of great Michael Jackson stuff, but one of my favorites, and just from a production standpoint and the way the song builds and the instrumentation and stuff, is Earth Song, man. I fucking love that song, dude.
Which one?
Earth Song.
What album was that?
Man, I think it was on the History album. I don't know if it's a double album or whatever. I'm not sure if it was on something else or it was just a track for that. But go check out Earth Song, dude. That is a fucking sick jam. The bass in that song is so fucking badass. The mix is so badass, and it just keeps building and building, man. It's like one of my favorite fucking songs.
What album is Remember the Time on? Because I think after that I stopped listening.
Don't know, Vic. Do you know?
That's after whatever album that is. I stopped listening to.
That was after Thriller, wasn't it?
Well, it had to have been after Thriller, right?
Oh yeah, it's after Thriller.
That was
because it goes off the wall.
Dangerous. It was on Dangerous, and I wonder.
Dangerous, doesn't Dangerous.
I wonder
if it goes off the wall.
Off the wall, then Thriller, then Bad,
then I think Dangerous
might have been after that. Yeah.
But after that, I didn't listen to anymore.
Remember when Eddie Murphy came out with a song around them, trying to be all Michael Jackson like?
Yeah,
is that the Party All the Time song?
Yeah, it's terrible. Like Eddie Murphy can play guitar, like it's part of his life, and it sounds like he's a legit musician. But man, that was bad.
That's such a bad song. Such a bad song that got so famous. I don't understand what's wrong with the mankind.
It's fucking Eddie Murphy, man.
I didn't know that was Eddie Murphy for the longest time, and then somebody told me, and I'm like, "What? Are you kidding?"
And you know, Party All the Time was Eddie Murphy.
No, not when it first came out.
Yeah, matter of fact, the only actor that would actor or whatever crossed over to music and I liked their song was Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx he's a badass though, dude. Jamie Foxx is Juilliard schooled, man.
Oh yeah, but his song "Blaming on the Alcohol," now that I loved. I love that song. That's the only actor I know that went from that over. That made an album. I'm trying to think. There's an actor first that just made an album. Oh, Will Smith. But no, Will Smith was
Will Smith was a rapper first. Yeah, Parents Don't Understand and all that shit in the late 80s.
Yeah, he was a rapper first. That's right. I love me some Will Smith. I love that shit.
I always forget about Will Smith, man. And he was one of those guys that was around all the way back then in the late 80s, you know?
And didn't curse.
He doesn't really get brought up, and you kind of forget that he was a rapper first, because he's become such an iconic actor, you know.
He was a great rapper too.
Yeah.
Wordplay,
good stuff.
Summertime and all that stuff. Matter of fact, there's something is it on Netflix? That the Fresh Prince revisited. I think that's on Netflix right now.
Oh yeah, I saw a trailer for that.
HBO Max. On something like that. Speaking of HBO Max, Wonder Woman comes out this month.
That's right.
That's another thing I like. I'm a huge TV movie watcher. I love TV. I DVR everything.
What are some of your
Wonder Woman
favorite?
84 comes out.
What are some of your favorite shows? Netflix shows or whatever.
Netflix. There's a stuff called Utopia that was really good. The Undoing was just really good. The best one of the best shows is The Killing. Have you seen that?
I have not seen it. No.
I've heard of it. I can't remember what it's about.
I bet everybody, and I haven't lost. If you can tell me who did it on The Killing, I'll buy you a 6-pack of beer.
Oh, so it's
looking at the blogs,
a murder mystery thing. All right.
Yes. Don't you gotta tell me before the last episode, because the last episode they tell you. I did my manager like that. I did another friend like that, and you will not. It's so well done. It's 2 seasons. It's so good. It doesn't even make sense. Well, I think it's 3 seasons, but the 3rd season is not as good. It's not as good as what's called The Killing. The first 2 seasons is. Matter of fact, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rewatch it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Right?
It's like me with Breaking Bad. Like I've probably watched that fucking show 3 times now. And like I remember when it came out and everyone was like Breaking Bad. I was like, whatever. I don't know. And then I watched the first episode. And I was like, oh fuck, this is pretty good. That's one of the
Wire.
I've heard The Wire is great and I haven't watched it, but I tell you the newest one I love is fucking Ozark, man. That show's badass.
Oh yeah.
That's really
Ozark is good. That's really good. You gotta watch The Wire, man.
Yeah, I gotta get on that, man. I have heard that's good.
Shit. That is Sopranos, The Wire.
Oh, Sopranos.
Killing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like the way that but they have Sopranos gonna have a movie coming out pre-Sopranos.
That's right.
Come out on Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
It's gonna. So you know the new thing. Because I listen to a lot of KUT. Warner Brothers. All the Warner Brothers movies. Do you have HBO Max?
Yeah, I do.
They're going to release all their stuff on. They're going to release all the movies that they do next year on HBO Max for a month. You can watch it on there, and then it's going to go away to the theater. So, and that they think all the other big companies are going to follow suit because they don't think the capacity is going to be back in time to do anything. So they're going to release it on HBO Max. Wonder Woman comes out this month, December 25th, 1984. And then what else? What's that movie with the Quiet Place? You ever heard of Quiet Place?
With the John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, right?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
That's supposed to come out in April. I think that's going to come on HBO Max. I'm looking forward to that. I really miss the Alamo Drafthouse the most, man. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. It's that's one of those. My guilty pleasure here and there is just I mainly do it for the popcorn, but I enjoy movies too.
Popcorn rules.
Yeah, God damn, dude. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're popcorn rules, man.
So I've been playing with a band. Have you ever heard of a band called the Invincible Czars, Ray? Been around Austin for quite some time, and an interesting eclectic band that's kind of started out with, I think, some Zappa type tendencies and kind of, just a weird quirky thing. Still has some elements of that. But started doing writing original scores to old silent films and those old classic horror movies and stuff, and touring on them and playing draft houses and theaters all over the country. And so I got to tour. Was supposed to tour with them twice this year, but obviously wasn't able to. But man, touring with them is the shit because we get to play fucking Alamo draft houses and stuff. And yeah, it's awesome, man. We show up, we fucking set up. Sometimes you got some downtime or whatever, and you get some food, you get some beers. Like it's pretty sweet deal, yeah.
But you're not doing it right now, though, right? Are you doing it right now?
We're not able to do it right now, obviously. Oh, yeah. We did do a few Halloween shows. We did a couple of outdoor things, and we did one Dallas show that was sort of like limited capacity in a theater with the outside merch sales and stuff. It felt pretty safe and pretty good, but yeah, I think things now are just going to be total fucking shit show for the next few months, man. After Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think it's going to be like maybe the worst this whole thing has been. January may be the worst month of all,
Yeah, it's good. We need a vaccine, man, but a lot of people ain't gonna take. Hang on for a second. I'm still going. Just start it. Because like,
just apologize. No, but I just apologize on our half and say, oh, these fucking assholes couldn't get their shit together. It took an hour to get Skype working.
We're supposed to watch this. Have you ever seen the show? It says a thing on Netflix called Peppermint. It's with what's her name? With we're supposed to watch it. What's her name from Alias?
Oh,
Jennifer Garner.
Ben Affleck's wife, her ex-wife, or whatever.
Yeah, Jennifer Garner, right? Yeah.
It's Jennifer Garner.
I don't think so.
I just hear her yelling. Come on, shit! What you doing?
Man, we're in trouble now, Vic.
I know.
Oh man, it's so funny. She's cracked me up. I was hoping y'all could hear that. Hang on, maybe she'll come knocking on the door. That'll make good TV. Hang on. Oh, she just started. That made good TV. There's sometimes I did another Zoom, and I was recording myself playing, and I was doing something over and over again. I couldn't get it right, and so I was hitting this note, and I just heard her saying, "Shut your face." And they caught it on the thing. I was like, I'm gonna keep this in here. This is the abuse that I go through. She is not impressed, man.
How long have you been together?
And why are you trying to? You better beat this one out because I'm trying to think. 17, 15, 16 years, 15 to 16 years. I'm like, what's called? My grew up with my parents saying, "Do not get married." You get married.
Yeah.
Huh?
She ain't gonna listen to this shit. She don't know.
You know what? Yeah. But one of her friends will come back. There's snitches out there.
She'll tell her friend to listen to it. Did he say anything bad about me?
You know, there's a bunch of. I wish she could have got that. Would have been great.
Be like,
I bet you if I wasn't using this microphone and using my warm audio, it would have picked her up. These Shure mics are great, man. They don't pick up anything back here that much. These are great mics. I actually
beast up, right?
Yeah, I was using these on. I bought it to just kind of do this, but one day I went and tracked. These are really good on tracking vocals.
Dude,
if you have a good preamp.
Michael Jackson used this on Thriller.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Man, this is a great mic, man. It's like we put that Teletronics on it. It picks up really good. I like it better than my damn this tube mic I have down here. Damn $800 microphone.
As a condenser mic or what? The tube, the other one?
It's a warm audio, the U47.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure.
It's the big one. I like it better than that. I also have the I don't know if you can see this one. I have this warm audio. This one I use on the guitar a lot. But if I had that one or that other one, you could have heard her. This right here, it just. Matter of fact, when you get back here, you see the difference. You have to really eat these mics to really get a good sound. And I like that when I'm singing, and I can kind of control when I'm laying tracks down. I like that to be able to back off and have more control of my voice. Hey, gives more of a natural sound.
Turn around and talk. I'm curious.
Turn around?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See? Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying?
I'm skeptical because I'm afraid that our Skype is all fucked up.
Did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah, but I don't know if it changed.
It didn't change?
Are you even going through that mic?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I am going through it. Yeah, wait, so when I'm back here, you can't hear the difference?
Can you, Vic? Well, slightly, right?
Slightly,
no?
Yeah.
Wow, you can't hear when I'm right on it like that and right on it like this?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Wow, that's crazy. Because when I talk on this mic, it gets super loud. Like I can hear it.
Okay.
When I'm back here right here, it's a total. Put it like this. Let's see here. I'll show you. We'll do a mic test.
Awesome.
I'll show y'all. So let's do this. Just gonna pick up this up. Watch this. Take this down. Check. 1, 2, check. Is this one even on? Oh, my mic is kind of on.
I feel like I'm hearing something more, right? A little different tonality, right? You hear that?
Check. 1, 2. Hey. Can you hear that louder?
It's hard to tell, man.
You really can't tell the difference on that? So now I'm doing something. You know what? You know why? Because he's using this ancient Skype thing that our forefathers used when the Pilgrims came over. This is what the Pilgrims were using.
It's a little known fact that we defeated England with the use of Skype back then. Paul Revere was using Skype.
Like this microphone is like when you're singing. So let's say you're singing, right? And I'd have to go way back. I can still hear a lot of it right here. But when you use these what's the number of these things? I never know. Sure.
SM7B. It took me like five years before I could remember what it was called.
Yeah, it's hard to remember. This SM75B, whatever. This is so. There's a lot of high sizzles on this. I don't even like this. I only like this on what you call it. Really, only like it on strings. On cello, actually. Let me take this down. Let me turn this off. Wait. Okay, turn this off. Let's go back to this microphone.
Well, we'll
like these cranes.
We're gonna have once we find a better platform, we'll have you back on the podcast. I'm gonna reach out and Ray's gonna be like, nah, fuck that. Huh?
Well, Zoom, as far as talking goes, I don't like Zoom for music, but talking, it's great. I don't know what problem y'all are running into.
Well, there were two problems. One is the audio kept ducking out with we talk at the same time. We're about to fucking find out. Like, you're kind of a guinea pig on the Skype thing, but so sorry about that. But no,
Lord, we don't have nobody.
Hey, we need someone we can just test out some bullshit on, Vic. Oh, I know. Let's hit up Ray Prim.
I feel like Rodney Dangerfield right now. God damn. Ain't getting no respect in this town.
I don't want to work you up, man. I've seen what you're capable of. I hate to throw him under the bus, but I watched a little bit of a Bobby Sharon podcast that had you and Les Fisher and DJ Crash. That shit was funny as fuck, dude. I was like, maybe I should fuck with Ray a little bit. I wonder if he'll remember, because what happened on that was he was talking about his show, right? So I'll invite you to my festival. This way you can't say I didn't. Like Bobby was just getting toasted by you guys. And then he made the mistake of going, this is my favorite part. He goes, but when you guys do a show, what you need, and he did this thing where he's like, you need the cream, you need a big name on the marquee. And Ray, oh shit, dude, I was fucking crying laughing, man. Ray was like,
I remember.
Ray was just like, what the fuck, Bobby? He's like, put my name up there.
I don't remember. What do I get? Because I remember every time we go to Bobby's show, you're drinking, and they always try to put me on there with Les, because me and Les go at it. And DJ Crash, he's just laid back. But I think that's when he was doing. I remember now. That's when he was doing that show for had Podunk, right? Is that when he had Podunk on there? Wait, why did y'all mute? I can't hear y'all now.
God damn it! Sorry, it's my dumbass. It was you and Les and DJ Crash on that show. I don't know what Podunk is.
No. I mean, he was having he has his annual show.
Yeah, his annual show.
Podunk playing.
Podunk didn't play.
He didn't?
No, it was like Dangerous Toys was the headliner for that this last year. I don't think Podunk played.
I've been on Bobby's show so many times.
I've been up there a few times myself, but I was like, fuck going to Georgetown. I'm just going to Zoom. Well, and now I hate Zoom, so I don't know.
Does he Zoom now? Because he asked me back. I was like, man, I ain't leaving the house to do no interviews no more. It's like, is he still doing the show? It's not. They're not going there, right?
No, he did some Zooms, but I think he's had some people back in there too. So I'm fucking happy with this for now, man. Until
him and his hot sauce making ass.
Oh man, well, I noticed
he's gonna get arrested.
On that video, there's a pair of ripped up pajama pants hanging on the doors because from when Omar got fucking hammered and went and ate a goddamn Carolina Reaper right off the bush and then tried to tear Bobby's fucking pants off. I guess maybe Omar probably didn't want that to get out there, but it is.
Look, man, y'all gonna see Bobby on Dateline. That fucking hot sauce don't make no sense. Like he has no license. He don't know what he's doing. You shouldn't be putting that many Carolina Reapers in a freaking hot sauce. He's gonna get hurt. I'm telling you right now. I'm calling it right now. Bobby, if you're listening, you need to stop. You don't know what you're doing. You don't put that much shit in the hot sauce thing. So you're gonna tear somebody's insides out. It's like, I went in and I smelled that thing off that thing. I was like, oh hell no. And I did that hot sauce challenge.
Oh wait, you did it? You ate one of those or no?
No, I did. You ever watch that show on YouTube? Yeah,
we talked about this, right? Where they have wings and shit.
Oh, hot
right?
ones.
Yeah, me and Baby C. It's if you're in my group, my promotionalizing videotape group. Me and Baby C did our manager bought the hot sauce sauces, and we made the wings. Man, that one where they say the bomb, you know the one that's called the bomb.
Yep.
That shit is no joke. It just boom exploded in my mouth. It's the hottest thing I've ever put in my mouth. I took my hat off, I threw it down to the ground. I was sweating. The only thing to save us was ice cream. It's on my page.
That's a good idea.
So we did it. We recorded it, and that's what you should do. Like, I was waiting for somebody to like do something like that, like do a duplicate thing of it, and have people eat that bomb. Is no joke, man. It's nasty. It's like it tastes like battery acid. It's
no, that's the thing about when you get that hot with those sauces. It's like it's not even about flavor. I like spicy food, but it's not even about flavor anymore. I remember when I was in England, there's this stuff, and then I've seen it here too. Have y'all ever seen this thing called Dave's Insanity Sauce?
Yep.
Dude, and it says like on the label, like don't do this if you have heart conditions or asthma and all this kind of bullshit. And it, it's a joke, but it probably works for like used to spice up your food and also, clean hardwood floors or whatever the fuck. Right. And it's like that shit had been sitting I was staying with a friend of mine in England and it was like in the cupboard. And so finally one day we'd always get these like pizzas every Friday or something. I was like, all right, I'm going to try a little bit of this. And I had like 2 24-ounce Foster beers and a cup of ice and all this bullshit. And the guy that like made the bet to me was like, I was going to put a little bit on a little bit of the pizza and he just like fucking starts dumping. I'm like, dude, Jesus. So anyway, I ate this piece of pizza and it was just like nothing I've ever experienced, man. Like you said, dude, I'm like taking.
You put it it was on the pizza?
Yeah. And I'm just sweating, profusely sweating. I couldn't, no matter what I was drinking, like I couldn't get it out of my mouth. It was just like, my friend was like, are you okay? Like I was like hyperventilating and yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how people do it. I don't know why people want to do it, but I have no interest in doing it.
There's a thing on Netflix called Champions, and it's a peppering contest.
I saw the cheese rolling one.
Huh?
I saw the cheese rolling episode. Yeah.
What? Have you seen the pepper one?
Not yet. They
do because the guy who makes the Carolina Reaper, he throws it. Okay, so you have to eat 13 peppers. Okay, to get to win, and it goes from the mildest to the hottest. Now you heard about the Carolina Reaper, right? It's number 6 on the list out of 13.
Jeez,
I thought that was supposed to be the hottest pepper, like in the United States.
It's the hottest pepper that you can buy.
Oh God,
these are ones he genetically made for this contest.
Oh Jesus,
it was number 6 on the list. And then the guy who won, he can't feel pain. He was sitting there eating those peppers like it's nothing. Like, you got to see it, man. It's the craziest show. It's called Champions. Hang on. Fight! Champ. Man, I got to get going.
All good. We're actually approaching.
I wish you could pick this up. Hang on. Let me turn this microphone. And put on blast. Oh shoot! Oh, that ain't gonna go that far. So I bet you this mic can pick it up.
All right, you heard it here. Domestic quarrels in Ray Prim's home here on Eclectic Soundtrax.
Can you hear that? No, you can't. Let's see if this is a strong microphone. Let's see if she yells again. Okay. All right, let's see if that picks it up. She's so funny. What time is it? Oh, shoot, it's 9:22.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, no wonder why she's like, Jesus Christ, how long have we been in here?
Sorry, Ray. Yeah, an hour and a half. I mean, we didn't start till fucking, 7:30.
Yeah,
no, I guess you're
right. Yeah, we were trying to, but
I guess you're right. We're pushing 2 hours. As I say, most podcasts run about 2 hours, so we're.
but it doesn't feel like it. I like that. I was like, why is she all getting all crazy? Because here's the thing, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. For some reason, when you said it's tomorrow, I was thinking Saturday. I was like, why would it be Saturday? My thing says Friday. Oh well. So we made some food. I was about to sit down. And I had my phone there. I had my phone, and then when you send that first text, I'll be able to get the email. I was like,
shit.
Shit. I said, pause the movie. I'm going to do this real quick.
We done got Ray in trouble, man. Shit.
So that's why she's like, I was like, why is she? But then I remembered, I was like, oh, shit, that's right. So I was like, oh my God, I totally. But not that I forgot. And it's even on my schedule for tonight. But I just thought for some reason when I asked you, I was like, because usually people do these interviews and they'll, like on a Monday they'll remind you, but you never said anything, and then on Wednesday they'll remind you. Then I saw you post. I was like, you know what? I think it's Friday. I better maybe Skunk even forgot. Let me see what he says. And then when you said it's tomorrow. I don't know why I thought Saturday, because I even thought
it was probably pretty late last night. Yeah, or I don't know, but anyway, it worked out. You're in trouble, but it worked out, I guess. Yeah. Good luck with everything. Now Ray's just pushing it though. Now he doesn't want to go because he wants to hear everybody get this. It's your wife, right? You get riled up. Your spouse.
Might as well. It's my Texas. When Texas were considered
legally.
Yeah.
Common law.
There you go. Common law. Yeah. I wonder why she's all riled up. My food's cold. Oh man, I have to warm that up. It's ramen. You ever eat a Whole Foods ramen soup? The ramen soup.
Man, most things Whole Foods has is fucking badass, so I'm sure it's good.
That's what I got. The Whole Foods, Whole Foods ramen. Well, I don't have the ramen. I got the rice noodles, and chicken and cabbage, and I'm trying to eat well with my pepperoni.
Throw some.
But that's what I consider. That's what I consider. Whenever I have noodles, that's my closest to Italian. So the noodles that I have in that, I was like, someone go good with these noodles.
Ray's over here eating ramen and claim it to be Italian.
Japanese, it's the rice noodles. It's the rice noodles. Whenever I have noodles and everything, that's about as close to Italian.
You go to get what's that? What are that shit called? I love it. Those chow mein. What is that stuff called? Chow mein?
Oh, the instant stuff.
You're talking about.
I mean, I know it's like Chinese. Oh, lo mein. Lo mein. Yeah,
lo mein.
Well, you're over there putting marinara sauce on it.
Well, that's the thing about Italian food. I don't eat cheese, right? So a lot of the good dishes, the real good dishes like lasagna, I have cheese, and tomato based food gives me heartburn.
Right.
So I really can't go that route anymore. But whenever I get noodles, like this thing that has a lot of noodles, I was like, well, that's about as close as I can get. What's a good beer that go with that? And this Peroni. It's actually good.
It all makes now it makes sense. Yeah, now I see where
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So we brought it all back around. Tied it up. I'm not sure if we learned something. I don't think we went the route I thought we might, but we learned some things about you. You don't know the difference between Italian food and Japanese food.
I do know the difference. Well, actually, ramen's not actually Japanese food either. It's just a soup. I don't like not the Whole Foods version. It is.
No, I literally think I saw something about ramen and it's something in a Japanese restaurant on a cooking show recently. So now I'm just rolling with it and claiming like I know all about ramen. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't actually have she has the ramen noodles. I have the rice noodles because I don't like the ramen noodles. I like the rice noodles. But there's smoked chicken. It's good. Oof, I gotta get going.
That sounds. No, that's a good way to end the podcast. That's a total man way to end a podcast. Like someone's like, smoke chicken. All three of us like, yep, fuck this. Let's go eat. I want to fire up the goddamn grill now at 9:30 p.m.
I'm interested in seeing how this is going to turn out because I've never. I hope, man. Hopefully, it doesn't like record and look like what I've been looking like.
Oh, it's going to be terrible, and we're going to have to get you on the podcast. Sorry.
This time
I failed you, Ray. We'll see what happens. We'll put it up there, and we're going to do some editing. So you're saying stuff like, "I'm a huge R. Kelly fan.
I love Audioslave.
I love audio. Yeah, my name is Ray Prim, and I love Audioslave."
Hell no! Don't make me get the ghost of Johnny Cochran after your ass.
Jesus, anything but that, man. All right, I'll get anything to do with Johnny Cochran, dead or alive. I'll stop right now.
Well, thanks for having me on here, man.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
I'll talk to y'all soon. I don't know how to get out of this thing. How do I even get out? You hit the hang up button?
Hang on, let me sign off. Have we stopped recording?
No. Go ahead.
This is great. This is a great ending. It represents how we started this thing. Complete and total confusion. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We've had Ray Prim, eclectic, prolific, amazing rapper, and
I wish.
Fantastic singer and an Austin musician artist who came down here, fell off a swing, and fell in love with the city. So thanks for being with us, Ray. It's been a total blast.
Thanks for having me, dog.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you.
I've made my peace, so leave it be. Fear won't pull me on. Today is not the day to be afraid. Oh, we had our chance to make amends. Wake up, tomorrow's coming. Oh, and yesterday feels so far away. Ooh, I'm fighting for it. Yeah. Is it just like the rest of you? Oh, I'm fighting for it. Yeah. Is it just like the rest of you? Yeah. Is it just like the rest of you? Promise, if you promise, we can rise and live above it. 'Cause hope is all we have when days are long, yeah. And days will come and go as time goes by. Will we regret it? Or will we have the strength to carry on? Won't you sing along? Ooh, I'm fighting for it. Yeah. Is it just like the rest of you? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm fighting for it. Yeah. Is it just like the rest of you? Oh, I'm fighting for it. I'm fighting for it. Just like the rest of you. Just like the rest. Oh, just like